Coming up on UT 10 News, a look at the 2009 Student Government Campaign Trail.
And we'll also follow up on a new mandatory training session for the ROTC.
Plus, our own Elise Chingari has highlights from the Lady Rockets basketball at the MAC tournament. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jocelyn Cruz.
And I'm Brittany Jackson.
The student government president and vice president elections are less than a week away. Some of the candidates are campaigning in dining halls and other places on campus. There are 4 tickets this year, and all platforms are based off similar issues happening at UT, such as plans for the Rocket Center on Dorr Street, getting trays back at the dining halls, and working with UT administration to continue alternative energy research. Elections will begin March 23rd through the 26th, and students can vote at the MyUT website. Area bar owners say St. Patrick's Day is one of the busiest nights of the year.
Reporter Pat Nowacki shows us that if you are not careful tonight, you can find yourself in more trouble than just a hangover.
Bars close to campus make an extra effort on St. Patrick's Day to prevent drunk driving. They will pay your cab fare, get family to pick you up, or even call the police if you try to drive away drunk. They even offer perks for designated drivers.
Free non-alcoholic cocktails for the evening. A lot of times we'll serve them a free sandwich or something, so they have something to do while the other people are drinking.
Although UT police had 2 DUIs last St. Patrick's Day, UT Alcohol and Drug Education Committee member Carrie Moorbach believes students should still be cautious on a day like today.
Especially on a day like St. Patrick's Day, where students tend to make choices that are not the best. They go to the bar early in the morning and consume a lot more alcohol than they normally would.
If you go out tonight, make sure to drive safely. And if you do drink, make sure you do so responsibly. And above all else, do not get behind the wheel. For UT 10 News, I'm Pat Nowacki.
Thanks, Pat. A Kansas State University survey reports that 75% of college students who are raped are under the influence of drugs or alcohol at the time of the incident. Instead of slipping roofies and other date rape drugs into alcohol, perpetrators are now relying on the alcohol itself as the date rape drug. UT's Community Affairs Officer Jill Goldberg says students are often unaware of their tolerance limits and predators take advantage of it.
And don't drink out of a community trough like a garbage pail or anything like that, or a big punch bowl. Make sure that you know how the drink was prepared.
The Sexual Assault Education and Prevention Office, located in Rocket Hall, offers confidential support for victims of sex crimes.
UT's Communication Honor Society is barely hanging on. Lambda Pi Eta President Holly Lehman says most of their members have graduated and there are no new members to take their places.
We only currently have 3 members. It really kind of puts us in jeopardy to lose our recognition as a student organization at the university by not having the full 10 members. So we really are looking to get more students involved.
Current members say the group is not only a resume builder, but also a good way to get involved on campus. Junior and seniors majoring in communication with a 3.0 GPA can join Lambda Pi Eta. Applications are available in room 4600 in University Hall. You know what? That sounds like a really good opportunity.
Yeah, I'm thinking about joining.
I think I am too. Stick around. We'll be back with Elise Chingari and Your Rocket Sports in 30.
Revitalizing Toledo means helping the people who live here. At the University of Toledo, we give back by providing free counsel in our legal clinic, pharmaceutical and health care for the underserved at the Cordelia Martin Health Center, and addressing local issues in the Urban Affairs Center. These are just a few of the ways we work in the community for the community.
To learn more, visit utmatters.com.
Welcome back. I'm Elise Chingari, and this is your UT 10 Sports. Both the UT men and women's basketball teams headed to Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio this past week to compete in the MAC tournament. The men fell in the first round to the Akron Zips in a heartbreaking 93-92 loss in overtime, ending their season with a 7-25 record. The women, heading into the tournament with an 11-5 league record, were looking to play spoiler after a first round bye. Here the ladies are getting pumped for a win against the Ohio Bobcats in the quarterfinals. The Rockets scored the first 10 points of the game. Jessica Williams passes to Tanika Mays, who starts off with some points in the paint. Here you see junior Tanika Mays and sophomore Williams, who both tied for team honors with 23 points. The two scored 11 of the final 13 points to take over the game and win it for the Rockets. The Rockets shot 52% from the field and 82% from the line. The ladies won 77-70, which let them advance to the semifinals against their arch rival Bowling Green Falcons. Picking up the action in the second half, number 32 Melissa Goodall scores after this missed shot. Then here comes Jessica Williams, who ended up scoring 12 points in the game. There goes Nama Shafir with a three-pointer. She ended up with 15 points this game. Then BG's Tracy Panias made a tournament record by scoring not one, not two, but 8 triples. Toledo lost 79-66 against Bowling Green. The Lady Rockets ended their season with an 18-13 record. Now I caught up with the first-year head women's basketball coach, Tricia Cullup, to talk about the ladies' season, and she's looking forward to next year's team.
We're bringing in 5 new players. We had a transfer come in from the University of Evansville, where I coached before, and then we have 4 new recruits coming in, and I couldn't be more pleased with the class that's coming in. I think with their addition and the returners knowing that they have been there, done that, and I think the conference tournament left them with the feeling of we could do this.
As for the rest of the MAC tournament, the BG women ended up losing to Ball State in the final round. And on the men's side, Akron, who knocked us out on the first round, ended up winning the tournament. They'll go on to face Gonzaga in the NCAA tournament. And finally, the UT women's softball team is hoping to play a doubleheader Wednesday at Notre Dame.
Sounds good. We'll be back in a moment with more UT 10 news.
When I was little, my grandma took me to the Dairy Queen, right? She bought me a banana split. And you know, I was kind of a little messy when I was little, all right? Then the bee got in the car. My grandma's like, baby, don't swing at the bee, because the bee don't hit you. Don't swing at it. I didn't swing, and guess what happened, Grandma? The bee stung me. I swing at bees because they'll sting you anyway, because they're ruthless and they have no soul.
We now follow up our earlier story about how the UT ROTC is mentally preparing cadets for war. The ROTC held a special training session the day before spring break began. The Secretary of the Army decided in late January that all Army units must go through a suicide prevention program. Major Chris Zubak feels this specific training is vital for the cadets' future.
Important for them to recognize the pressures and the situations that their soldiers will undergo so that they can ensure that soldiers never feel like they're alone and that they are hopeless or helpless and that they have someone who can help them through the rough times.
Our 70 cadets engage in computer simulated events that typically led to suicide during times of deployment. Major Zubak says this is the first suicide training session the UT ROTC has been through, and it was a one-time event.
Well, that's all for UT 10 News. If you have any stories or information you would like to share with us, please email us at ut10news@gmail.com.
And remember, you can also watch our newscast on YouTube and Facebook, where you can get caught up on all your campus news whenever you want. For Jocelyn, Cruz, Elise Chingari, and all of our crew, I'm Brittany Jackson. Have a great week and stay tuned for more campus news from the UT campus.